Today, we're going to be comparing two microphones. We're going to shoot out the legendary Shure sm57, the industry standard for guitars, against the Sennheiser E906. Now, the Sennheiser E906 has been around for a while. It is the later iteration of the E609. Both are sold as guitar microphones. What is the difference between them since they look so similar? Well, I feel like the E906, it was sold and marketed, and still is, as a guitar microphone, like a definitive guitar microphone. But the problem is it has a permanent top-end boost, and some of that boost is around the 4K area. And if you're not familiar, 4K, especially with distorted guitar tones, is where a lot of the filth, noise, unpleasant sound kind of lives, and most people actually end up cutting there. And it overall was kind of too bright and fizzy sounding for a lot of people, especially high gain players. But the E906 fixed that problem by having a very flat response and then allowing you to actually switch to that top boost or even doing a top cut in that area. Makes it a lot more versatile, especially than the Shure SM57. The SM57 is known for being a legendary microphone, especially for metal guitars and guitars in general, because it has this mid bump around like 7K, 6.5K, something like that. Makes it really cutting, makes it really stand out, and it's a really full sounding microphone. And the Sennheiser is a lot more flat of an EQ response. It still has its own peaks and such, but it's a lot more flat. So I figured we'd listen to it inside of a mix, and then we're going to hear it outside of a mix. This is going to be my Granifier going into my Zilla Fatboy 212 cabinet, and these are going to be mic'd on the same position on my Eminence DV77 speaker. I'm going to be putting them on the sweet spot, which is going to be just in between where the cone and the dome meet. That gets you a lot of top end, a lot of cut, a lot of aggression without getting too fizzy or harsh on the high end or too boomy on the low end. Let's check it out. So I found this test pretty surprising. The Sennheiser and the 57 were a lot closer in the mix than I thought they were going to be. There still are some differences. The 57 definitely pokes out a bit more, has a bit more cut and aggression in that upper mid-range because of that bump that it has at its EQ pattern, whereas the Sennheiser comes off a lot more flat and a lot cleaner. It's also a little less bassy. Now, personally, I actually really like both. I was really pleasantly surprised with the Sennheiser, and because it has the boost and cut as well as the neutral position, it makes this thing really usable for a lot of different things. Now, I prefer the SM57 for that kind of cut and aggression and fullness, but if I was, say, playing on an amp that already had a ton of mid-range or was already really cutting on the top end, I might want to go with something more neutral like the E906. Or if I was playing on a darker amp and needed to brighten it up, I may go with the E906 and do the top boost. Or if I'm playing something that's really, really bright and kind of coming in a little harsh, I may decide to cut that. Or I may decide to pair that with a SM57 and then put that on the cone and use that more of a low end pickup, and then use the SM57 to pick up more of the upper mid-range and top end of the amplifier. Overall, I think both mics were great. I'd be interested to know which one was your favorite and why. Let me know in a comment down below. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay metal.